Hey, welcome back, it's Ivanoki, and today I want to tell you why you should stop reading the news if you wanted to keep what's left of your mind. But first, what is the news? Maybe it's a brief prompt from around the world, because if you type this into ChatGPT or another neural network, it won't give you anything. It will get chaotic in its head. It will just say that it hasn't up-to-date data to justify yourself. That's all. But sometimes these brief messages are followed by loud headlines. But it does not negate the fact the more options there are, the more users for you. No one disputes the claim that the news not absolutely useless for us, but even harmful. It is bad for us, but if you type any headline into Microsoft Bing, it might actually resent you and even ignore you, thinking you have lost your mind.
Are you crazy? She's crazy. I'm so crazy. So crazy.
A double blow to the brain or your two brains. In broader sense, relevance is everything what you can help you better understand the world in which you live. But it doesn't matter which definition you would choose. News is always irrelevant. Investor Warren Buffett uses the concept of circle of competence. We need to be master inside of everything of the circle, in both fields, in theoretical knowledge and practice. And you shouldn't care about the news of outside of this circle. But the news inside of your circle of competence are trends that are important to follow in order to be competitive. That is, the more you know and the better develop your abilities in the limited area, the more successful you are. With the clear defined of circle of competence, it will not be difficult to decide which news you should let in your head and which news you should send to the trash.
Done and done.
For each circle of competence, you will need your own special media to track information that you need, and everything else is better to avoid. The next problem is that the news limits the ability to understand anything, because the news does not explain anything, and you forget yourself and get completely lost in this life. Happy end? And this explains why lectures at university on something new subjects don't make sense. In fact, almost all events in the world are complex, and consuming news to understand the world is worse than not be interested in them at all. Because who doesn't read the news knows more than who reads only news. This kind of the news creates the illusion that you maybe understand the world. But certainly you can't understand what the person who wrote all this was thinking.
That's inspired.
In addition, by consuming the stream of the news, you deprive yourself the ability to concentrate. They turn you into superficial thinker and also harms your memory. To it intentionally, you need to dedicate on this process at least 10 minutes. And if you have less than minutes, then your brain processes new information superficially and unable to retain it. So it's like time machine when you get stuck and waking up looking lost. And so what we have? Misunderstanding anything all around this world is strike number 1. Memory is a fish strike number 2, and finally last strike goes to creativity. It is quite the reason why the greatest creative achievements of the world, mathematics, arts, music, books, literature, business, entrepreneurs are made in their younger years, because just their thoughts are still free flight in their restricted space. Why is this so? It doesn't matter which creation, task, or something else in front of you. The main and first idea that comes in your mind is usually one that you picked up from somewhere else. So creativity is about connecting things, what you already know and what you have just learned. The harmful effect of the news can be related not only creative abilities but even the opportunity to concentrate. Just because creativity requires concentration of forces and attention. And by completely rejecting the all news, you want to miss something important. But you can become master for your life, fixated on your specialty. Because something really valuable for ourselves and for society can be only generated in our circle of competence. As those people who develop the skills within their circle of competence always become master. And such people don't pick up ideas from the news, where people come to forget themselves as in a bar after work. In short, if you want to have a fresh idea, then consuming information it would be the last thing what you should be doing. But in other sources, will be beneficial, for example, music, arts, movies, and other. And finally, the news changes the structure of our brain and cognitive apparatus is restructured. Brainwashing occurs. Because adaptation to the news occurs on the biological level. Sets up new wiring, new cables, new wires. And as a result, brain starts to work differently, even when we don't consume news. At the same time, different as, you already suspect, not better than before.
You're brainwashed, people! Oh.
However, by the time drivers receive their lessons a few years later, researchers found changes in the brain hippocampus, an area that plays an important role in the long-term memory. Taxi drivers have clearly more cells than bus drivers. Over the years, the difference in the brain structures increased. Taxi drivers were getting better in the mastering of the city map, but it became harder for them to perceive new geometry shapes. But bus drivers, as before, had no problem with geometry. Hence the conclusion, advances in one part of the brain may be related to the impairment of another part of your head box. So the most stupid thing that person can do to separate his mind of work or outside world during the break is start reading the news about outside world. That's all for today. I hope this video was useful for you. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel. I regularly release a video about psychology, self-education, philosophy and many other interesting topics. And as usual, become better than yesterday. See you soon. Bye.